I'm joined today by best-selling author Jennifer Weiner. She is a regular on the New York Times bestsellers list. I know you've got her novel in your beach bag. Her 11th novel, All Fall Down, is out now. We welcome Jen to the show. It's so good to have you. I can tell you, you've been in many of my beach bags because it isn't really progress that you've had over the years. These books have become sort of a part of our lives. Your newest one, All Fall Down, I think there are a lot of people out there that may sort of look at themselves a little bit closer in this book. Tell us what it's about.
Okay, so Allison Weiss is a mom living in a suburb of Philadelphia. She's married. She's got what she thinks is sort of the happy ending. Big house, ring on the finger, handsome husband, cute kid. Not feeling so great about it all, and sort of underneath there's kind of cracks in the facade where the marriage is not so great, the husband's struggling at work, her father's been diagnosed with early Alzheimer's, and she starts, you know, those Vicodin she got prescribed for her back pain are starting to feel good at the end of the day, and off we go.
Your books resonate with women, but you don't like to sort of associate yourself with that word chick lit.
Oh, you know, it's, well, I mean, at this point, I'm 44, so anyone who wants to call me any kind of chick, like, have at it, that's fine. I mean, I don't like the way the books get sort of dismissed by critics as being kind of frivolous and fluffy, when I think, in fact, they can be funny and they can be written in a breezy, witty way, but they're dealing with some pretty real issues that women are facing.
Do you take your own personal experiences when you write your books? Is that
Absolutely not. I make it all up. Please, it's all, I mean, why live if you can't, like, use that in a book?
That's what makes it so real, I would imagine.
I hope so. I mean, but it's funny, like, when your kids say something, you have to be like, now, will I tweet that, or will I save it for the novel?
Speaking of Twitter, Time Magazine named you one of the top 100 people to follow on Twitter.
Yes.
So naturally, I went onto Twitter and started following you.
Yes.
And I can see why. What do you think it is that reaches people, or what do you think that you're doing?
It's The Bachelor. Hands down. I mean, I talk about books, I talk about feminism, I talk about politics, but, like, if you want to know why people are, what is bringing them to the couch, it's The Bachelor tweets.
Really?
Hand to God.
Because they just talk back and forth with you on Monday nights?
Well, it's basically, I mean, we're all hate watching The Bachelor together. So on Monday nights, it's sort of like you're screaming at the TV set with 90,000 of your closest friends. Like, why are you dating that creep? Or why is that? Do you remember, do you watch?
No, I haven't seen this season. I've watched past seasons.
Well,
and you become addicted to it.
Well, that's just it. It's like, it's this horrible, cheesy, fake-o dating, and you cannot stop watching it. God help us all.
God help us all. It's one of our guilty pleasures.
It is.
You also really capture the voice of women, I think, really well. You know, when I saw the movie In Her Shoes, you know, what's it like for you to have remembered when you were sitting down writing those words, then to see people like Cameron Diaz, I mean, playing that part?
It's so surreal. I mean, like, that's the only word for it. But I remember being in the screening and sort of the lights go down and the Fox logo comes up, and I burst into tears, and I grabbed the executive's arm. I'm like, that part came out great! Like, so it's amazing, and like nothing I'd ever even dreamed of. Just so amazing.
Do you have a favorite baby when it comes to the ones that you've written?
It's like asking a mom to pick her favorite child. You can't. But I mean, Good in Bed is always going to be special because it's the first book I ever wrote. I wrote it just in my spare bedroom to get over a breakup. I didn't have an agent. I didn't have a publisher. And I just remember so vividly how everybody's like, the best day of your life is when you get to go home and tell your parents that someone is publishing your book. Okay, that is not true if your book is called Good in Bed. Because I was just like, Mom, remember that book you didn't think I was writing? And she's like, yes. And I said, Simon & Schuster is publishing it. She starts to cry, and I start to cry, and we're like hugging and having this moment. And then she's like, what is it called? And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, right, exactly. I'm Good in Bed. She says, what? I said, Good in Bed. She says, good and bad. I said, no.
It sells books, that's for sure.
That's the thing. It's like, how are you not going to pick up a book called Good in Bed?
And people
there might be pictures.
It's 57th printing, and your new book, All Fall Down,
out now.
So
out
nice
right now.
To see you, Jen.
Thank you very much.
Really inspiring so many women.
Thank
Great
you.
to meet you.
Thanks a lot.